Okay, you should be on page 61 in your pink math journal. Today's learning objective says, I can apply the area and perimeter formulas for rectangles to solve problems. The reason this is our learning objective is because you should already know how to find the area and perimeter of a rectangle. So now we're going to use what we already know to learn how to solve problems. The first thing that you need to write down is that area is the inside space of a figure. So if I have a rectangle and I am asking about the area, I am concerned with all of the area inside the rectangle. Common questions that you might find that are story problems where you'll use area to solve might involve painting a wall, because we don't want to just paint around the outside corners of the wall. They might involve getting new carpet, because we're not just going to put carpet along the outside of a room, but we're going to cover the entire area. The next term is perimeter. Perimeter is the distance around the outside of a shape. So when we're talking about perimeter, we're just talking about the distance all around the outside, not what is on the inside. Common problems that might talk about perimeter have to do with fencing or maybe the frame of a picture, but when we only need to be concerned with how far it is around. Now, an important word in our learning objective is the word formula. The formula is how we solve a problem. The formula for area is always the same. We know that area equals length times width, and we can write that out in words, or we can use letters to help us so that we don't have to write the whole word. Often we think of it as A equals L times W. So one way the formula for area can look is A equals L times W. But this week we've been talking a lot about taking away this multiplication symbol, because when we have letters, that really looks like a third letter, LXW. So we can also just write L equals LW. Just like when we write 7X, it means 7 times X. LW means L times W. It's important to know the different ways to write the formula, because when you take your iLearn test, they will give you the formula for area and perimeter, but it might not be how you're used to seeing it. It could be any of these ways. And they all mean the same thing. Finally, the formula for perimeter that you guys are most familiar with is perimeter equals side plus side plus side plus side. Well, no one wants to write all those words, so we could write that with the variable s representing the side. That is how you found perimeter in 3rd grade. But there's easier ways to find the perimeter. Another way to write the formula is this. Perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. If we come back up to this rectangle, we know that the length might be 6 and the width might be 4. So we know that the opposite side is equal. So this one is also 6 and this one is also 4. So instead of adding 6 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4, I can do 6 times 2, which is 12, 4 times 2, which is 8, and then add those together. That gives me the perimeter of 20. To be honest, My favorite way to find the perimeter of a rectangle is using this formula. That parenthesis also means to multiply, just like when we use the distributive property of multiplication. So this means add the length and width and then double it or multiply it by 2. So in the example of this rectangle, 6 plus 4 is 10, and then I can just double it to get 20 because 6 and 4 are what these other sides are. That's why we can double that number. So again, you have been finding area and perimeter for a long time, but it is important to recognize and understand what these formulas mean because we never know what formula we might see when we take a test. I want to do one example with you together. In this rectangle, the sides are 9 inches and 3 inches, and we're asked to find area and perimeter. I have talked before about the fact that this 9 inches really means that this one side is broken up into 9 equal parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. In my drawing, they're not really equal, but we'll just pretend. Let's double count to make sure I have them right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So literally, this side is 9 inches long. This side is broken up into 3 inches. 1, 2, 3. If we're talking about the perimeter, we are talking about this 9 and this 3 and this 9 and this 3. Okay? I told you that my favorite formula for perimeter is this one, 2 times length plus width. 9 plus 3 is 12, times 2 makes 24. We can write that down like this. Perimeter equals 2 times length plus width. That is the same as 2 times 9 plus 3. We always do what's in parentheses first, so that's 12 times 2, which ends up being 24. Now we can do that in our head a lot quicker by just adding 9 plus 3 is 12 times 2 is 24. The unit for perimeter is inches because each side is measured in inches. Now let's talk about the area. Area equals length times width. It's pretty easy to multiply 9 times 3. Again, we can write out the formula. Area equals length times width, which is the same as 3 times 9, which equals 27. What I want to show you here is that when we put our unit for area, we cannot just put inches. We have to put square inches. And I want to show you why. When we divide our rectangle into 9 inches this way and 3 inches this way, we are creating 27 literal squares. And those 27 squares are the area inside that rectangle. Each one of these squares, if I were drawing accurately, would be exactly 1 inch on each side. So this is 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. That's what it means when we say 1 square inch. So when we're talking about area, we're literally saying that we have 27 square inch boxes, 27 1-inch squares inside that rectangle. So when we use our unit for area, it has to be inches squared, because if I just have inches, that is not a true representation of what area means. We're literally talking about squares. Now on this side, each square will be 1 centimeter all the way around. So for this problem, our unit will be centimeters squared. And for perimeter, our unit will be centimeters. You can complete this rectangle on your own using the formula of your choice.